How's it going, people? Welcome back to yet another episode of Yanda Sports Take. And today we're going to be talking about an issue that's rather personal to me. This one is a bit of a soft spot. We're going to be talking about my club, a club I hold dear to heart, Paris Saint Germain. Now, I won't claim to have supported this club since Kingdom Come, but I've been a fan long enough to witness some of the most crushing and humiliating Champions League exits imaginable. I mean, I've seen this club blow two-goal leads, 4-0 leads. I've seen some of the most embarrassing things you can imagine. So, yeah, you can imagine I've been through quite a lot with this football club. And anybody that has been through all of that, I think you can consider yourself a true fan at this point. However, that's not why I made this video. The point of this video is to point out the players, the individuals who I feel need to pack their belongings and head for the exit door. Yes, people, it's eviction time at PSG. It's time to clean house, and the following individuals cannot play a part or a role in this club moving forward. And where better to start than with the man in goals himself, Gianluigi Donnarumma. Now, this player is far removed from the goalkeeper we all saw in the 2021 Euros, where he won Player of the Tournament. Since then, he's been somewhat of a shell of himself, making one blunder after the other. This man was supposed to take over as first choice keeper from Keylor Navas. And so far, it's looking like I'd much rather have Keylor Navas back at the number one spot. Because Donnarumma has yet to show us that he can be the world's next best keeper, like everybody thought he would be back in 2021. Then I want to talk about Presnel Kimpembe. Now, when people come to this guy's defense, they'll tell you, oh, he's been at the club his whole career. He's been there since academy level. He loves the club. He supports the club. Well, he can support it from the comfort of his home because he's just simply not good enough for where this club is trying to go. I thank him for his contributions thus far, at least at domestic level, but on the European stage, he's cost us with one mistake after the other. And quite frankly, I think I'm over him. There's so many other players that PSG can get in his place. I'm glad that the club has signed Milan Skriniar because Kimpembe right now can't even play ahead of a 35-year-old Sergio Ramos. So at 27, 28, if you're not good enough to start ahead of a player in the twilight of his career, then perhaps you shouldn't be at the club. And this is in no way to disrespect Sergio Ramos, who's been one of PSG's better players this season. It's just Kimpembe is supposed to be in his prime years. These are supposed to be his best years, or the beginning of his prime. And he's not showing much for it. Another player that people tend to make excuses for is Danilo Pereira. Now, with this guy, they'll tell you, oh, he comes to work with a smile on his face. His work ethic is just so amazing. He works so hard. But the truth of the matter is he's too slow and he's not technically sound enough to be starting for this PSG side. PSG's battles are always lost in the midfield. Verratti finds himself having to carry the whole midfield by himself. And for those defending Danilo Pereira, I have one question. Let's just break it down. Would he start ahead of Xhaka or Thomas Partey at Arsenal? No. Would he start ahead of Kovacic or Kante at Chelsea? No. Would he start ahead of Casemiro at Man United? No. Would he start for Real Madrid? No. Would he make it into Barcelona's midfield? No. Yet somehow, some way, people will tell you he's good enough to start for PSG, a team trying to win the Champions League ahead of these clubs, ahead of some of these clubs that I just mentioned. How does that make any sense? He's just not fit for purpose. And don't even get me started with Renato Sanchez. I mean, my goodness, this guy. The ability is there, but what good is ability if there's no availability? He's injured so often, you'd swear it was every other month. In fact, you'd swear his legs were made from granola bars, people. Like, I can't make this up. Honestly speaking, I understand that with injuries, you can't necessarily blame the player 100%. But at the same time, PSG can't allow themselves to be a nursing home for injury-prone players. I just think it's best they cut their losses now. Carlos Sola, I mean, this guy, if he's not scoring the odd goal every now and then, every once in a while, he really doesn't offer anything else. Does he create enough chances? Nope. Does he help the team keep possession? Nope. Is he any good at defending and helping the team win the ball back? Nope. So, honestly speaking, he's someone that the team can do without as well. Then you get Fabian Ruiz. Oh my goodness, this guy. He looks like a cast member on X on the Beach or Love Island. And at times he plays like it too. I mean, my goodness. He knows how to make a good pass, but he just never knows when to do it, at least not in the big games. He doesn't have the football IQ of some of the top midfielders in the game. And how are you going to win the Champions League if you don't have someone who's cerebral enough in those big games to make an impact and make the difference and help the team win? So honestly, whatever the club decides to do with Fabian Ruiz, whether they loan him or sell him, I'm all for it. I'm cool on Fabian Ruiz. And don't for 1 second think I forgot about our good friend Vitinha. I mean, my word, I really thought I knew what this guy would bring to the team, but I'm starting to question myself. I thought he was an attacking midfielder of sorts, but he doesn't score enough, he doesn't create enough chances, he doesn't assist much. So I struggle to think exactly what he brings to the team, because at times Messi finds himself having to drop into midfield and do some of the things you would expect Vitinha to help with. So I'm really cool on this Wolves reject, and I wouldn't be surprised if PSG moved him on. And if they don't move him on, please sign someone better so that at least he can be a bench option at best. And now we've come to the most difficult part of the video, and that's with Neymar Jr., a player that has given so much to the club and even helped us to our first ever Champions League final in 2020. But in the 6 seasons he's been here, he's suffered a major injury in almost every season he's been here. I mean, and 3 of them have been season ending. In 2018, 2019, and in 2023. And it's not fair on PSG to just bank on the fact that, or on the hopes rather, that his injury record will improve. He's done a lot for the club. He's given 6 years of his career to PSG, and we thank him for that. But perhaps it's best that the club moves on. And now last but certainly not least, we have King Leo himself. The GOAT, Copa America winner, World Cup winner. I mean, I just want to make sure I have, all his accomplishments read out. I mean, I don't want to get on the wrong side of his online army. But this is a player that has really divided opinion at PSG. From having an underwhelming debut season where he only scored 6, yes, you heard me correctly, 6 league goals the whole season and 11 in total, to a much better season this season where he has a total goal contribution of 40 goals across all competitions. So I guess it's only natural that his time at PSG overall will be met with differing views and opinions, especially from the PSG fans. However, he definitely didn't win any new fans over with his trip to Saudi Arabia. Now, whether you fall on the club side in this whole drama or you fall on Messi's side, I really don't think it matters anymore. The relationship with Messi and the fans has probably reached a point of no return, and I'm sure deep down he'd like to go back to Barcelona anyways. The Barca fans want it, Messi probably wants it. Yeah, he should probably go back, and PSG can look for more, younger and long-term options in attack this summer. But before I conclude this video, there's one person that I put the blame on the most for this catastrophic season. And it infuriates me every time I think about it. And that is Luis Campos. I was told that this man is this footballing genius, this great footballing mind. But he's shown me anything but that this season. Some of the decisions this man has taken as sporting director or advisor, whatever his role is at PSG, have been shocking. Going into the 2022-23 season, PSG parted ways with Angel Di Maria, Kalim Wendo, Mauro Icardi, and Julian Draxler. And who did he sign as a replacement for those 4 departing players? One 20-year-old striker in Hugo Ekitike. And if that wasn't bad enough, he let Pablo Sarabia go in January, only to fail to sign his replacement in Hakim Ziyech in the last week of the window. No plan B. So now PSG has a total of 4 forwards in the entire club, one of whom hardly plays. And what happened shortly after that? Neymar got injured, leaving us with 3 forwards in the entire football club. He then spent 2 windows trying to sign Milan Skriniar and failed, only for him to be joining us in July on a free. Now ask yourself, instead of chasing a player whose contract expires next season, why not just have a backup for this season? Because this season feels like a complete waste now, or because you didn't have a backup plan. And in case you didn't know, most of the players that I've mentioned in this video were signed by Luis Campos himself. Yes, these are his failed signings. He's had a disastrous debut season as PSG sporting director or advisor, and Nasser Al-Khelaifi needs to pull the plug. I wholeheartedly believe that if PSG can make these changes at player and front office level, that we will no longer be the richest laughingstock of Europe. Thank you guys for tuning in. Please comment, like, subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next one.